Coach, give us a statement and we'll go to questions.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, let me just give credit to Arizona State. I thought their kids, obviously, they executed with high precision today. And, hats off to them. Obviously, they've got some great players and, really well coached. And so you give credit to them. And, unfortunately, we didn't play our best football game today. And that's what it was going to take for us to be successful. But I couldn't be prouder of our kids, who they are, what they've withstood through the season, some of the challenges, obviously, that we've gone through, and our ability to not flinch. And, we kept playing today, but obviously you can't make some of the mistakes we made against a team of this caliber. So, obviously, with that said, I'll open up to any questions you have.
All right, first question down here in front.
Matt, 3 possessions, 3 turnovers to start the second half. You probably felt like, hey, we go down, score, goes the other way instead. Just how deflating was that?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much more deflating than that. I think the thing that we've prided ourselves on is our ability to take care of the football and, our ability to create takeaways. And we felt like that, especially that margin for both teams. I think they were plus 11, we were plus 9 coming into the game. And, felt like that was going to be the key to this football game, the ability to take care of the football. And, our inability to do that in the third quarter, it was just paralyzing. And so, you can't give that offense, who was really in a great rhythm, you can't give them a short field, especially to start the second half. So those are tough things because those are fundamentals and details that, really we've done, especially in terms of ball security. We've really done a great job prior to. But, tough for sure.
One more.
Just one follow-up. As you walked out, it looked like you had your arm around Bo's waist. What can you say about him, and what can you say about kind of the message you had with him?
Well, I think the message is pretty simple for me. What Bo and this senior class has done to Iowa State football is nothing short of exceptional. It's been player-led and player-driven. And when you're a warrior like that, man, these moments when you don't have the success that you want, obviously there's temporary pain. The great thing is we get another football game, and the great thing is that, man, what this group has already done is historic here at Iowa State. Nobody can ever take that away from them. And the reality of it is we still get one more chance to send this senior class out the way we need to. So, I appreciate and love them, and that's what I told them after the game. Just because we had a result we didn't get doesn't mean that I have any less, appreciation and love for what this group is all about.
Right there.
Matt, sorry it didn't go the way you guys wanted, and I know the turnovers didn't help, but what were your thoughts on the missed tackles today and just execution on defense?
Geez, yeah. I obviously, again, I thought the second half of the season, we've really started to shore some of those things up. And, unfortunately today, that didn't show up. And, in some of our biggest moments, we'll have to figure out exactly why. Part of that obviously is an elite tailback, but I think the other part of it is, man, we just were not fundamentally where we needed to be when we needed to be there a couple times. And I think that part of it, I'll take as the head football coach. It's my responsibility to make sure, we're where we need to be when we need to be there, and we just weren't. So I'll have to look back on, man, how do I be better in that moment to help our kids be at their best? And like I said, we'll get another shot to prove we can get that done.
Matt, you mentioned the bowl game. What is the challenge of regrouping here after a loss like this, and then just in this day and age too, with the transfer portal opening on Monday? It's a lot thrown at these guys.
Yeah, I that's a great thing about our program is we're not transactional, we're transformational. So whatever it is, we'll be ready to play wherever that may be and whatever opportunity. This senior class, what we're about, we're about finishing. We're not about, everything else.
Matt.
You finished second in a 4-team, obviously the playoff model league. Do you think you have any chance of getting an at-large bid tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't. The reality of that situation, but I don't know enough about it. And the reality from our end is we had some opportunities late in the season to put ourselves probably in the best situation. And, again, those are great lessons learned, and we'll grow with a young football team that's got the ability to continue to grow forward for sure.
Hi, Coach. Earlier this week you talked about falling short in this game a few years ago. How much does it sting to kind of get back and still not be able to reach that pinnacle that you're striving every day to get to?
Oh, I think those things sting for sure. You remember the losses way more than you remember the wins, and especially when, you know, when you don't play to what you're capable of playing. And so those things they'll haunt you. And the reality, it's still what drives you, which wakes you up every day to come in and be your absolute best. So the great thing about myself, our staff, and the young people that we have, they got great humility and they got great character, and we'll show up and we'll be better for it someday.
What's the importance of being able to have some young guys be able to come back and potentially get back here in the future years when you think of guys like Rocco or Ben Bramer or your young running backs or any other young contributors that you have?
Well, I think all these journeys, boy, if you're a young football player in our program, you got to witness leadership for the ages. I mean, what this group has led through, you know, the injuries, the challenges that we went through, and never was there an excuse. Man, never was there a flinch. Even today is, man, as not as great as we wanted to play, you didn't see our kids fold their tent. And so, you know, these are unbelievable experiences, and if you're willing to learn from them and grow from them, then you've got this great ability to come back better for it. And I think you've seen our football program do that over the last 9 years. And, you know, again, you're talking about what we've been able to accomplish is nothing short of exceptional, and all the credit to our kids.
Coach, how impressed were you by what Cam Scadaboo was able to do out there?
Yeah, he's a really good football player. You know, a lot of respect for him. Anytime you witness a great football player like that, you just have to have a great appreciation for it. And, you know, he's an A player, and he played an A game today. And, man, that's in these moments you need your A players to play football, and he certainly did it. So hats off to him for sure.
Matt, Rocco took a pretty brutal hit there. How's he feeling? How's he doing? What do you know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, seemed to, obviously was cleared to come back into the football game, and came back in, did a nice job, you know, putting a drive together there at the end of the game. But Rocco's a tough customer. That was tough. That was a tough shot, and as you know, and you guys that have covered us, how just tough he truly is. But you know, we quadruple checked to make sure, you know, if we were going to put him back into the game. But obviously, if you know Rocco, he was demanding to get himself back in there when he got cleared. So proud of him. But I think Rocco will be just fine moving forward.
At the end of the second quarter, you chose to not call timeout after I think Levitt got down to the 2 or 3 yard line, and then I think you went into halftime with a couple after Abu's run. Can you walk me through your time management decisions at the end of the second quarter before halftime?
Yeah, I think we were in a flurry of chaos there, and I wanted to settle the ship. I think the last thing that I wanted to do was turn the ball back over to, you know, obviously them. You know, felt like we were getting the ball to start the second half, and, you know, you're talking about, I mean, there was 3 seconds on the clock, right? I mean, what are you going to do? You know, I mean, so the reality of it is, man, let's get ourselves in. Let's get regrouped. Let's put ourselves in the great situation to come back out. We're getting the ball. We go put a score, and we're right back in the football game. That was my thought. Now, again, hindsight 2020, we'll look at it and evaluate it. And, again, I'm not saying that was the perfect decision, but I thought at that time because of, man, the momentum where it was, I just felt like we needed to regather ourselves, regroup. And you always evaluate those things and see if it was the best decision. But that was my thinking at that part.
Okay, 2 or 3 more for Coach.
Coach, earlier this week, Coach Haycock was talking about the running quarterback, a guy who can extend plays, kind of giving the defense a bit of trouble. What did you think of Sam Levitt's play today and just his ability to do kind of what Coach Haycock was afraid of?
Yeah, I mean, what you said, I think those were timely, right? There was maybe 4 in the first half that were fourth down conversions. And I think we had them 4th and 4, 4th and 3. Obviously, we had them 4th and 1, you know, and he made the play. And, again, I hats off to Sam. You know, what you saw on the videotape is a really talented competitor, and he was certainly that today. And, you know, some of those plays in the first half, I mean, you're talking a total different football game if you win those moments. And they were able to do it and really grab the momentum. But, yeah, obviously, yeah, great point, and certainly give a lot of credit to him.
Up front here.
Matt, you certainly touched on it, but just can you elaborate on what it means to you to, presumably they're all playing to get another chance to coach Bo one more game, Jaden, Jalen, JR, all those guys down the line?
Yeah, to me, it means the world to me because, you know, and Rob, we've talked about this, and you guys that have covered it, my loyalty to this senior class and, you know, pulling us, you know, by the bootstraps out of really hard 2 years ago when the deck was falling against us and easily it could have imploded. And these guys refused to allow it to happen. And the courage and toughness that they have shown over the course of the last 2 years is like nothing I've ever seen. when you lose some of the guys that we've left and what has happened to us at times this year, and the never flinch demand to show up every single day, and how those young men have led, it's been nothing short of exceptional. So to me, it's an honor to be able to coach them. To me, it's an honor that we get some more time with these guys, and we're going to do everything in our power to send these guys out the right way, and we look forward to the challenge and opportunity ahead.
Final two.
Matt, it looked like Malik got all armored up to try to give it a go tonight, and just not able to for a long stretch there.
Yeah, I think we were really, we were right on the edge of him being ready to go, and I just physically not there yet. I appreciate his willingness, and I think it tells you everything that guy has tried to do for the betterment of our team over the course of the last month and a half. I mean, he's a warrior, and he's tried to help and try to put himself in position to help us, but, unfortunately tonight wasn't truly ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, Matt, we saw it on that 4th and 1. What's the challenge when a running back like Scatabo presents such a threat to cover all your bases, the play actions, and the deep passes on top of that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's just him. I think it's the reality, and certainly he's talented, but I just think the holistic view model is, man, your detail has to be elite, right? 4th and 1, and you have to, man, they're in a run formation. You're going to have to be disciplined, and we've seen that. There's times we've been unbelievable at it. I think last game against Kansas State, same thing happened, and, man, we were able to cover and did a great job, and, man, there's been times in our past where, we just haven't made the play. So hard situation, and a situation where our detail was a hair off, and then obviously they made some great plays, but you tip your hat to them, and something we'll continue to work forward on.
Coach, appreciate you joining
All right,
us.
thank you guys.